I'm gonna just hang out here for a second and talk to myself. This is Wednesday. I don't even know what time it is. Yeah, almost noon. So it's 11:30 on our Wednesday. It's raining. It's more like yeah, it's drizzling. We we're almost in the fog. So still nobody joined. I'm just gonna stand here and talk um, while I'm waiting for people to see this feed and join me. And yeah, so I've been making a few of these lives recently. One big reason is this: I just want a record of the progress that I'm making. It's a big project that I have here in front of me, um, and there's two things that I got going on. I want to grow more vegetables to feed myself and others, and I have a good sized piece of land that um, needs to be used as a garden. Um, so I have a very variety of projects that I want to get done, and that I trying to do by myself because heck, I need a hobby anyways. So you know, every once in a while I might hire somebody to drop something off or uh, do some heavy lifting for me, but for the most part, I try to do it myself. So, still nobody's joined my life. I've been here 2 minutes now talking to myself. Not the easiest thing to do, talking to yourself. But, anyways, so I do like to do these lives. Um, the other day I did a live stream where I just, you know, streamed myself doing work in the yard. And it wasn't until the 2 hours were over that somebody joined who actually seemed to be interested in seeing me talking to me about my garden. Yes, I guess that's why you do a live stream, right? To find other people to talk to, others who actually want to listen and hear what you have to say. Hey, yeah. So I wanted to do a tour of my garden, and I'm just waiting for somebody to join me. Yes, yes. I think it's a funny circus too. So thanks for the like, very much appreciated. So yeah, I'm just hanging out here, waiting for people to join me. I understand with Google it takes a while for it to show it to somebody, and so this may or may not be for you. I got a little influx of people now, and I'm in Texas, Central Texas, and I'm going to do a tour of my garden. I'm trying to create a record of what's going on uh, for myself to have later, and maybe hoping to find people who find this interesting, who want to stick around and talk to me about it. So anywho, I guess I'm gonna get started since I have people here. If you're could leave me a like, that would be nice. I think that makes my life easier in the long run to finding the right people, but we'll see. uh, so this is my property that I live on, and I have some quick projects for it. I'm gonna show you guys. So we have rain weather today. So yeah, so this is my current kitchen garden, and I'll show you what I'm growing. So I have two goals to accomplish out here. Is I want to grow more vegetables, and I have a good sized piece of property that I need to make better use of. We just moved here not that long ago. So here's some fava beans that I'm growing. They took some damage. We had frost last week. We're still in January, and it took out some of the leaves, but the plants themselves seems to be, for the most part, okay and keep thriving. And then here is some chaos gardening that I did in October, where I just made a seed mix and just tossed it out. And this is what came off it. I pulled up the irrigation yesterday, so it looks a little bit messy. But we're supposed to get more rain. But I have daikon radishes growing here, and um, some cilantro. I planted some peas to grow around the structure. It's looking pretty good. I harvested my first daikon radish out of that bed yesterday, and it was delicious. But I'm wanting to let them grow really big because I want to cook with them. So then this is what I planted out in November. I want to say about mid-November or so. I have some more daikon radishes. I have some, these are purple bell radishes. I always like to come out here during my tour and pick one. They are going to start to get big here now that we're past the dark season of the year. So, excuse me for a minute while I clean my radish. Oh, thank you for the likes. I appreciate it very much. So, here's my purple bell radish. All right. I also have some garlic here in the rear. Some daikon radishes. There's some collard greens back in there. And I think some either beets or Swiss chard. I think same thing here. These are either beets or Swiss chard. I'm not sure what I tossed out here. There's a bunch of seeds I threw out. So we'll see what comes up. And then up front here I have tatsoi and spinach. And this stuff is actually got enough leaves now to where I can start eating some of the older ones. And here are some that are already terrible looking. So I do not have big problems with slugs, so sometimes I leave things just laying on top. I like coming out here. I'm eating the leaves. These little baby leaves are full of nutrition. Right. So that was what I put out in November. And then over here, nobody's left. That's all right too. That's what I put out in December. And I have to say, size-wise, I don't find that there is much difference between these 2 months as far as what the plants did. It got late. It got dark. Had our first frost around late November, and at that point the growth really starts to slow down, and it doesn't pick up again until you hit late January, early February. So I see some things over here that are ready for me to eat. Some tatsoi leaves. I'm going to switch it back around. Oop. Alright, I'm going to try this format. So you guys can actually see me. Anyways, so it was just in this square up here, the one in the front. That was what I planted out in early December 8th, if I remember correctly. And I have this is radishes, I think mostly daikon radishes right up front here. I have some tatsoi. I believe there's supposed to be spinach here too, but I haven't seen it come up. This is a celery that I grew from one that I got from the grocery store and that I put out, and it seems to have survived the transplant shock. I have some other radishes in here, and then I had started a few seedlings at the same time indoors as I started this bed, and I planted those out. And they are not any bigger than the seedlings that I started out here, interestingly enough. But I did it more for insurance because we can have some really cold frost. We had frosts this year and everything survived. But sometimes we get really, really cold frosts and then everything's dead. And so it was more like insurance for in case I lost everything out here through a frost. So that's why I did the seedlings. So that's my kitchen garden. And then behind me here, the space is going to become my formal kitchen garden. Oops. So I in the process of starting making the beds and starting to grow things over there. And then behind me now is my first garden on this property. So when we moved in, we started building a pool right away, and that meant I wasn't sure where everything would go. So I started this garden out here, uh, where I knew I'd be out of the way, and I will continue to grow vegetables out here. So, but over time, I will convert it to growing sort of the big crops that you only like you plant and forget kind of a thing where you don't have to water too much. Though I have irrigation out here, but perennial crops. So, for example, so over here, this first bed here is my asparagus bed, and I just went through it the other day and chopped down all the asparagus, all the dead leaves off the roots, and amended it a little bit, covered back up, and then I think in a month or so we'll start seeing asparagus. I'm very excited about eating asparagus out of my garden, guys. If you grow your own asparagus, you know what I'm talking about. Thank you for the like. I appreciate it. So I'm very, very excited about this. I have been growing out here now. This is going into my third finish. I'm finished my third year. I'm going into my fourth year. Um, and in that time, I wasn't always home, so I couldn't always take care of the garden. I tried to travel. Anyway, so that's up. Just spread out this. Work with the equipment that I got. It's not always easy, folks. So then this bed here is mostly cilantro at this point. It survived the freezing, so I'm very excited about that. I was able to give a bunch of the cilantro away to neighbors, so that was a blessing. I also have some random kale and cabbage plants in here. This chard, cabbages, kale. Everything is so tiny though. But I think I grew these from don't remember. Sometimes I buy the plants when I'm somewhere where they have plants, and then I buy them and do my best to keep them alive, and then I throw out a lot of seeds and let stuff grow as it may, and then I try to start seedlings indoors to the best of my ability, or outdoors really. Here where I am, I'm in central Texas, northwest suburbs of Austin. I can, summertime, I can start seedlings outside if I provide them shade. And in the wintertime, I only need to bring them in for a few nights. So It just it's easy enough. Though when you want to start get a head start on like tomatoes and stuff like that, it's nice to have an indoor room for it. Anybody out there grow things? So I'm eating cilantro. Cilantro is supposedly really good at chelating heavy metals out of your body. So, if that's a concern for you, I just like it. It doesn't taste like soap to me. I mean, it's grown really well for me this winter. Really, really well. So, these beds here, as you can see, it's all kind of like a chaos gardening, I would call it. I just took a bunch of seeds that I had that I knew that should grow and put them in a bag and spread it out. I mended the beds, put the seeds on, maybe put some mulch over it, and I've let it grow. And so far, mostly what grew was radishes, but I harvested most of those and ate them. And I'm letting a few go to seed and to cilantro. Every once in a while, I see a little kale plant somewhere. And then I bought some plants. I have some arugula in there. This bed here that doesn't have any hoops on it is a bed full of arugula or rocket and cilantro. And then I had some plants. You can see some brown stuff in this area here. This is some stuff that died in these freezers. They called it Mexican mint in the store. I don't even know what it is or how it's used. Never got around to it. But sometimes the best thing you can do is just grow shit. Grow stuff. Like, the microbes want plants. They want roots there. They don't want fallow ground that lays around with no roots in it. So I got garlic in here in a bunch of these beds. This tall stuff that you may see poking out is garlic. When I see plants for sale at the grocery store usually, because that's where I go most often, I just bring them home and do my best to keep it alive. They're hard to keep alive. I seem to have more luck with the things that I'm growing from seed, and I'm kind of, I just don't want to have to put in a lot of work. Want nature to take care of itself, and I just help it out. So, trying to grow more stuff from seeds and seeds that will grow on their own. Anywho, I put up a cattle panel here the other day all by myself. I will show it to you. This is the vegetable garden number 2. And I put up that cattle panel all by myself. And then I planted peas on it. Down here. On this bed here, I planted peas. So that they can grow up the cattle panel. So, okay, well, I usually try to make these last at least 30 minutes. Just because, yeah, that's my goal, I guess. And so let's see what else I can talk to you about. I'll give you another shot. This is going to be we can talk about this new part of this is going to be my formal kitchen garden. So we have the cabana with the outdoor kitchen, and then right in front of it connects to the pool. This is going to be the kitchen garden. I'm going to have U-shaped beds that open with the opening of the U faces this way. So I'll go step over here. So I'm facing south, you're looking north. And so the U is going to go from here around like this. So the opening is towards the south to capture that solar energy that's coming from there. We get plenty of that here in Texas. And then right here along the outdoor kitchen is going to be a bed that I want to grow beans up. I'm going to attach, a structure up under here, and then I'm going to have a green wall of peas growing up to provide shade. It gets pretty hot here in the summertime. Then I have access to a water source right here, and I'm walking on what's going to be one of the walkways, and then there's going to be the first U-shaped bed, and it goes, see, it goes straight back, and then there's going to be a trellis wall to here, and then I have another source of water here, and then it goes up this way, and that's going to be the U shape. So it starts here. See if I can do this. Here goes that way, and then goes this way, and then comes up here, and there's going to be walking space right here, so you can step down, and then this repeats, and I think I'm going to get two giant U's in here, and then maybe a single long bed in the middle, and then I can build arches over the beds from one bed to the next. So that is the vision for the formal garden out here. I like growing in the soil. Water management is a big issue for us at the moment here in Central Texas. I know it doesn't look like it today because it's raining. We've been in a drought. We've been in a drought for a number of years. We have to look at how we keep and it's hot in the summertime. I mean, the sun is intense and it gets hot. And so how to water your plants is a thing you have to think about. So I have my orchard here. So I have this here is was a Santa Rosa plum, but it died. And something came from the rootstock, which I don't know yet if it's tasty or not. But I'm gonna let it grow and see what comes of it. And then this is a peach. It's really all I know of it. We bought it at a place like a Costco, I believe, in pots. And it has been put in here for almost 3 years. Oh. The generator exercising. Alright, well, I'll try this. And then we have here, I believe this is my Warren pear. If you've never tasted a Warren pear, you're missing out. It marks extremely delicious pear. They're third pear. And then this here too is some sort of a peach, nectarine, something, and it died and it's coming up from the rootstock. I don't know yet what it is. We'll find out. I mean, it's all edible, so, we're going with it. And then here I have another pear. Also don't know what kind. This is another tree that came from the Costco. And then this here is green. We just planted last year, so that's why it looks so spindly. This here is another pear from the Costco. I mean, the pears and the peaches from Costco did well. The plum, not so much. And then this here, I believe, is another nectarine or possibly a peach from a local nursery that we just put in last year. And it looks like we're down to just one of you. I appreciate your like. And then here is another peach, also from the Costco. And this has been in the ground. It'll be 3 years, 4 years, 4 years, 3 years in June that it's been in the ground, or July. So that is that part. Then I'll go around. Alright. I'm gonna go back around to the orchard in the rear. What kind of gardening do you do? I started gardening, indoors in my bedroom. And then I had a mother who would garden on the balcony. And I got to then start gardening in the ground when I came to the US at 19. I mean, there were a few years where I didn't garden because of circumstances, but I bought a house at some point. Right, so here we have a mulberry tree. So this is the mulberry. Here comes one of the guardians of the garden. And then here we have 2 fig trees. They die back pretty far in the wintertime, but they always come back. So, and then down this hill, I have this here is a pawpaw. North America's only tropical fruit that I can't get at the store. And pawpaws you cannot get at the store. And then this is a pecan. I'm not sure if it's alive. And this here is my dog. She died last summer. And then there's another pawpaw. Pawpaws need somebody to pollinate with them. So I'm hoping both of them survived. We'll find out. We don't have any more frost in forecast for the next 10 days. But that's only early February, and we can't get them until early March. So we're not out of the woods yet. I have some blackberries here that I actually need to come and cut the dead wood off. They have suffered through the last couple of summers. So I'm hoping they're established enough at this point to keep going on. All right, so I'm close to the end. I've reached my 30-minute goal. And with that, I'm going to sign off. I haven't gotten any questions. I hope you enjoyed my garden as much as I enjoyed it. And thanks for stopping by. I'll leave you with a shot of the arch. Use the kettle panel for it and some rebar. Probably should hammer some of that in a little bit farther. This is what we around here call an Indian hammer, I think. It's not culturally insensitive. That's what the Texas settlers called them, anyways, with that, I'm out of here. Bye.